And hello, welcome to an introduction to astrology with your host Liam Jarrett of the Aquarian.tv. Today we're doing the signs. Sign everywhere, signs. Look to the west. Okay, this was just for show because it is hot in here. And, we got time for that today. I'm not passing out while I'm doing this. You mind holding that? There's no one there. Totally. That's a little Neptune energy for you. So we learned the planets from Saturn. We'll do Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and the asteroids in another session. Now we're doing the signs. Oh, beautiful. We're going to start off with our elements. It's elementary, my dear Watson. L. Remember we talked about a name for Saturn is L, who rules in Capricorn, Lord of the Earth. Here's his ments. Remember we talked about how all is mind, the number one rule in Hermeticism of the 7 Hermetic principles. Elements are the mind of frickin' Saturn. Put that one together on my own. Now we have 4 of them. We have fire. This is the glyph of fire. Pyre, like the pyramids. Father, a masculine energy. Fire gives warmth, like the heart. It gives light. It illuminates. It gives life. And it starts us off in our existence here. Fire. The spark. Fire. Then we go to Earth. I'm giving you them in this order because we're going to place this on the chart. Fire, Earth, Mother Earth, feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine. The rule of duality, another Hermetic principle. Earth, feminine, nurturing, maternal, material, matter, mater, mother. Beautiful Mother Earth, and what have we done with her? Rape her daily. When we learn astrology, we get more in touch with these elements. We really become an environmentalist, not just of Earth, but of air, fire, and the freaking heavens, the stars, the universes. Fire, earth, air, a masculine element. Air, the mental realm, the mind of God. We're going into the age of Aquarius, an air sign in the water section of the map, which we'll see, so hence the name water bearer. And John the Baptist, the water bearer. Aquarius, the water pitcher, where we look for the man to bear the water. The great Passover, ruled by air now. We're coming out of the waters of Pisces. Emotions, imagination, can be total deception, which I argued we spent a lot of time there. Devotion, the womb of creation, the sacred chalice, the lady of the lake, water. And that is our 4 elements. And the glyphs for them. You put these together, and you have 2 cubes. 2 6-pointed stars. You put them together, you have a dodecahedron, a star within a star. Here's the 2 cubes. The pair of dice of paradise. The X is 2020, which equals 4, which we'll do the numbers of the planets in a separate video. 4 is the tail of the dragon of Rahu, who's our ecliptic. It breaks things down. 5 is breaking out, being pioneering 2021, baby. 5 is a Mercury number. Okay, now we get these 4 elements in 3 ways called modalities. different models. They are, namely, Cardinal. Cardinal starts off something, kicks out cardinal action, the cardinal seasons, the cardinal cross is what we're going to draw. The cardinal starts this off each season, and then we go to fixed, solid. As much as we can fix something on this earth, because remember in the Hermetic principles, everything is moving and all is energy. So the fixed signs are the most important, which is why the gospel writers have them. It's the lion of Leo, the Taurus bull, the man Aquarius, and the eagle, which is Scorpio. Next we go cardinal fixed, mutable, the last of the modalities. Moving, fluctuating, disintegrating, not fixed, not stagnant, but in movement. This is also how we get God. God the generator, God the operator, God the destroyer. This is how we get Brahma, cardinal starts us off. Brahma, the ram, starts us off. Abraham. Brahma, Vishnu, who is like the bull. I think he rides a bull. The Christ figure. The operator. We would say Christ is the operator. Smooth operator. And then finally, Kali, or Shiva, the destroyer. The beginning, the middle, the end. The mind, the will, our desires. I just kind of put that one together. So we're going to take our 4 elements times these 3 modalities and put them into our 360-degree circle, giving us our wheel of samsara, what we entered into, the map of our journey, our soul's journey, will be laid out in something that looks just like this. You'll be drawing a lot of these and seeing a lot of these. It's like lots of Joker cards and poker decks have a man riding on a unicycle. That man is the Joker, is Orion Constellation, also Osiris, who sits above the wheel. Taurus is a star over here, and he sits above, that's King Arthur looking at his 12 knights. The 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 months of the year, the 12 fluid ounces in a can of soda. The 12, you go on for 12. It's beautiful. It's a 1 to the 2, which equals 3 in numerology. 3 is creation. Here's our creation, baby. Kriya is Rhea, the wife of Kronos, where we get creation. 3. Saturn, his wife, bam. Jupiter, Jesus is the king of this. Okay, let's get into it. This is our horizon of Horus, where we have equal night. Here's day, and here's night, the land of the underworld. Here's Horus's horizon, and he's raising out the first sign. The glyph, I see it bursting out. It's like the top of a toroidal field. It's bursting out. Aries, who's another word for Mars, who's the very ruler of the first sign. It is cardinal. Here's our cardinal cross. This is where all the months start, our cardinal cross. So here we have the very first one, the Lamb of God, who's worthy to open up the 7th seal. He rules the top of the crown of the head. This is the great man on a wheel, bent over. Here's his feet, here's his head, and here's his body. Here's his hips in the middle. Got some birds that want to give me a hard time. Guys, I'm working over here. Thank you for understanding. Oh, they're excited. They're rooting me on. Fire. It's a warrior type attitude, that cardinal fire bursting out, springing forth in spring. The great bring us out of the darkness, opening up our eyes in April, where we get Apro, where we get that apocalypse of the cyclops of our eyes, our eye. This is the crown at the top of our head. This is Mary Mars, had a little lamb. This is the lamb that is slain for the sins, the great Passover lamb, because it passed us over from the darkness into new life. People with this Aries are warrior type spirits, athletes often. Now we're going to go to fixed fire. I'm going to say cardinal fire into fixed earth. And where we come across Mars to Venus ruled Taurus. I'm going to put my signs in here from now on. Taurus, Venusian, Venus, beautiful Venus, and the earth in a way that is fixed. That's all those things will be Taurian. The five senses and earth, all Taurian stuff, beautiful. One of my favorite signs, if not my favorite. Although they often don't have a care for spiritual matters, but not always. They are the Hierophant card in the tarot deck, which is about tradition and stuff. All Taurian stuff. Okay, so that's fixed earth. Now we're going to finish up our first season with a mutable sign, and we have fire, earth, air. Mutable air, we're going to get our Gemini Twins. The arch, ruled by Mercury, who brings us through the archway to the halls of learning. The great mind communicator and data bringer in. The world of duality, duplicity, rules our hands, or everything that's double. Taurus rules like the lower, like the mouth, they eat a lot, and the shoulders. I want it like the neck, like you would yoke an ox. In the constellation Taurus, we have the fixed star Aldebaran, who is in the left eye of the Taurus bull, where we get the bull's eye from. It's red, and so usually we have a red and white bullseye. This is the sacred calf, the Taurus, that is slain. In certain religions, during the Aries season, they sacrifice a lamb. Taurus season, sacrifice a Taurus, bull, a red heifer getting ready. Gemini season, 2 turtle doves. And at the top of the tree, the North Pole, and a partridge in a pear tree. Moving on, Liam, the ruler is Mercury, also known as Hermes, who helps us learn astrology. Now, remember how we have our 4 elements? We place the 4 elements over this. So our first season, fire. So this Aries, that's double fire. Taurus, that's fire and earth. Aries, fire, and air. These are the children of the zodiac. This is your great I am, this is your I have, and this is your I relate. Or, I think, I talk. And so now we go from fire ruled to earth. And we're going to get our cardinal, where we haven't got a water sign yet. So now we're going to have a cardinal, because it's after Immutable, and it's right after this cardinal cross, here at this very summer solstice, where the sun is at its height. We have the beautiful Cancer, also known as the sacred scarab of the Egyptians, holding up the disk of the sun at the top of a hill, and it is ruled by the moon. A beautiful Cancerian moon. Cardinal moon. So initiating new ways of feeling about something. They always be feeling some way about something. And now we're going to go to our sun. It's going to be fixed because it's right in the middle of the season, and it's going to give us the conquering lion of Leo. We get the lion's paw in masonry. They bring you down this end. This is like the tomb, the death, and they bring you up and grab you by the lion's paw, which is the star called not Rigel, but Regal. Regus is the paw of the lion of the constellation, the conquering lion of Judah. The return of the conquering lion, because it's opposite Aquarius. We'll come to see the age of Aquarius, where we're coming into. So this is the return of Christ, and the coming of the Messiah for it's astrological stuff, and they're trying to use it to push their own agendas. Okay, so a fixed fire, that shows light. Usually they have Leos like to be in the light. They like attention, like a cat likes attention, but rules the heart. Oh, I'm sorry. Cancer rules the breast. Whenever you see the Virgin Mary breastfeeding a child, or Isis to Horus, this is a semblance of this sacred Cancer archetype. Leo, and it's also the crab, and the crab like the shell that protects your heart. The heart where we have Leo. And now moving on to immutable signs. So we have fire, we're going to have earth now, and then we're going to have earth as the house of bread in Bethlehem, the Virgo. We have an M in there and holding a fish. She's on the axis bread, and then Pisces we'll find over here. And the fish, Jesus the fish, the miracle of the bread and the fish. Here we're coming to the end of summer, and it's harvest season, so we're bringing in our goods. Virgo's here to make sure that they're perfect, and they're kind of frantic about it because it's about to meet the scales of Mott to make sure that our heart is lighter than a feather so that we can pass. Gets us ready for the fall. Fall's coming. See, the sun gets to be exalted in the middle of... Oh, we're getting a little bit of rain. Let me shut this door. Go get yourself, nothing, because I'm right back. Hope my lighting isn't too horrible. Yes. I'm just going to do shadow puppets for the rest of this. Oh, deal with it. I'm so shiny. So, mutable earth, ruled by Mercury, the magician Merlin, here in Virgo. They're good herbalists, often like fitness people, and rule the stomach, the Virgin Mary in her stomach. How beautiful is that? It's Mercury, who's moving around very fast, in Earth, so it was kind of a frantic energy, but it could really make you a good athlete. Kobe Bryant was a Virgo, and he had this perfectionist attitude. But he was good. You want a Virgo on your team. They might be annoying, but you don't want a critic that's just going to be a yes man all the time. They're going to tell you like it is. Hopefully with a little bit of... But for your good. They're the great nurses. This is a service axis. Pisces, Virgo, I am the handmaid of the Lord. Be it done according to thy will. If she got pregnant, and it would be one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So then that would make Jesus a Gemini out. Hermes, the magician. It's allegory. We're learning this to show that Moses and his going up the hill is actually down here to get the commandments from Saturn in Capricorn. Jesus' temptation on the top of the hill, Capricorn, on the top of Capricorn. Now we're going to have Scorpio, ruled by Mars. Put down your swords, live by the sword, die by the sword. In the garden, we have Scorpio giving the sun the kiss of death. And each one of these slivers is a 30 degrees. 30-degree angle. We get it 12 times, give us our 360-degree wheel for 30 pieces of silver, because these are the months that the moon makes up of. The color for the moon is silver, gold the sun. We talked about lead and as Saturn, tin for Jupiter, copper for for Venus, Mars, iron. That all makes so much sense. Can it be that it's all so simple then? We have me totally lying to you because first, because I mentioned the scales. So Cardinal, air, ruled by Venus. You'll notice that they surround the sun and the moon. Mercury surrounds them. Venus, bam. And then guess who's going to be next? I already gave it away because it was... because I'm Scorpio. I wish I wasn't in the 8th house. No, we love being there. But they're always trying to hook up with a Libra, a pretty girl, but they're too possessive and obsessive. Look at them sitting down there. It's right. It says the Scorpio will strike the heel of the Virgin, because Libra is a very faint sign. But you'll see whoever's holding up the scales, either Archangel Michael, sometimes Mary's holding the scales at judgment. Here's the judgment. The Libra card is judgment. Saturn's exalted. So some of these houses have an exaltation. Some don't even have one. But Saturn's exalted in Libra because why? Because he's the judge, the karma king. Karma police. Libra in the air. Beautiful communicators, good lawyers, judges, good interior decorators, architects. Capricorn's more architecture, but they would be like the interior decorator, but very clean and minimalistic usually. They could be a little bit cold-hearted. They're in the air. The air signs are... See, at least when Mercury's in the air back here, he's in fire, so Geminis, they're fun. And then we get to Earth, and so that's funny. So Virgo's the earth of the earth, like the salt of the earth. And you think about it, all those, even though the crab is a water sign, it's in the section of Earth, because it spends a lot of time on Earth. The king of the frickin' Earth, in the middle of Earth. A Virgo, she has a sheaf of wheat in her hand, and has a star spigot in it, which is so beautiful. This is also when you come to the wine press, which is why the wedding feast of Cana, they go to Mary first to ask for wine. Now, Archangel Michael holding the scales often at judgment. But Venus, so that's nice that we have Venus ruling the land of judgment. Okay, so that's fixed. And now we go to fixed water, who is Scorpio. And then this section is air, which is why Scorpio, although it gets a Scorpio and the serpent, the snake, because it's in control of the private parts. Oh, Libra, the hips. How fitting. The hips look like freaking that. From Libra to Aries, the book of death, the book of life, Libra, Aries, library. I put that together on my own. Down in the depths of still water, fixed water, Mars, you're going to want still water to bring your ship. And we do have a big capacity for an abyss of endless love, but also obsessiveness. We want to meld together with something and get to really feel it intimately. It's activating the Kundalini energy. Ophiuchus, the serpent bearers there. We have like 3 serpent bearers, 3 snakes. It's all about rising that life force energy. This is it happening. The serpent on the staff. And just like that, Christ says he has to be raised up. No idolatry in Judaism, but God tells him to stretch out a snake on a staff, and everybody looks at it. Sounds like idolatry. The first thing Jacob does after he has his vision about the angels and wrestling with Samael, the devil, the god of the Gentiles, he builds like a circle stone thing and erects like a phallic and puts oil on it with stone, an idol. Okay, it's because this is how it relates to religion. The Jacob's ladder, ascending up the 7 planets. We talked about that in the last video. So now we're going to go to Mutable Fire, where we have Sagittarius, who's pointing his arrow at the tail of the Scorpio. Mutable Fire, ruled by, this is the first time we have an outer planet, and we got through Mars. That's why Mars is like an 8, the October, because it shoots you back in. The great regenerator. Pluto had to be put there. Oh yeah, so I'm giving you the modern rulers. But Pluto, here's a glyph for Pluto, is also the ruler, a modern day ruler, co-ruler. But when you do the houses and stuff, when you learn it, I'd start with the traditional planets, start adding in the outer planets, the asteroids, different plots of fortune. We'll get to that. So now we got to Jupiter and Sagittarius. Mutable Fire. It's funny how they have an arrow, because they're shooting so many arrows everywhere. But when they could focus, they could shoot long, straight. They go to far distance lands to travel. They like to learn about foreign lands, travel to foreign lands, higher education, and the Guru sign. They used to call it the house of Sagittarius, the house of God, or just God. Zeus, Jupiter, Zeus, the great philosopher, king. Sagittarius is a fun signs, but they could overdo stuff. I have a Sagittarius moon, and I can tell you all about that. It's hard for me just to pop one potato chip down that whole bag. Okay, now we're moving from, and it's a Centaur, it's half man and half human, and it's kind of like the whole half God, half man thing in Christianity that we say. And now we go to Capricorn, ruled by Saturn on the scene for the first time, if you know what I mean. And Cardinal, Earth. I'm sorry. So, Mars rules the genitalia, obviously, and everything that goes, like pores, everything that goes in and out, which is why I'm sweating so bad. Sagittarius, the upper thighs, like, you see a girl with some thick legs, you're like, oh, God, that's a Sag right there. Very optimistic people, visionaries. They think big. They can see like big patterns and stuff. They just have to bring it into Earth. They need an Earth sign to help them do that. They tap into their Capricorn energy. Bring a Virgo on board. Have the Taurus do the work. You want to fix something on Earth? You put in a papal bull. You have a Torah. Terra, Earth. Okay, so now back down here to Capricorn, ruled by Saturn for the first time. Cardinal, Earth. Starting off winter, at the winter solstice. Jesus was a Capricorn because he had to be a sacrificial goat, a scapegoat for the Jewish people, filling out the Esau and Jacob ritual. You can use this stuff for maybe not the best, who's to say. Capricorn's the host with the most. That's why they take on the sins of Israel. Then they're at the top, and they work up the top. They're the goat, the grace of all time. They could be a little bit caught up in the earthly desires and the fleshes, which is why they're the devil card in the tarot, but they're also the great initiator, and they be very spiritual, because here's air, and now we get water, which is why they're the sea goat. Here's the tail. They nurture the child of many heroes like Hercules and at the bottom of the cave. A feminine sign, earth, water, Capricorn. The goat is female. Pan, though, is associated with Capricorn because it is in the earth. And Saturn does have a masculine kind of vibe to it. But at the top of the Kabbalistic tree, Binah, who's the divine feminine on the path of severity, is Saturn. Just some things to think about. The serpent on the staff. Here's the serpent at the bottom of the staff. You want to raise it up to be crowned when you marry the sun and the moon together. Masculine and feminine. Black and white. Our emotional realm with our intelligent realm. Now, let's go to fixed air. We're going to have Aquarius ruled by Saturn again. Modern day ruler Uranus. Fixed air. You could have people, Aquariuses could fixate on an idea, but they could do it really well where they could put together complex problems and situations. They could put it all together. They're like geniuses, sometimes oddballs. Not so hip in the world of emotional relating. They don't know how to act at a funeral. But also, like, maybe the best sign of the zodiac. Because it is still in water, so they do have it there. But it's an air sign. To the contrary belief of many. The water bear, see, in the River Jordan, Eridanus is a constellation. The Milky Way is coming here, pouring that out. His foot's in the Eridanus, and his head's in the Milky Way, kind of. And then mutable Pisces, water. So water, flush us all out and end this whole thing. Surprised we survived that. Ruled by Jupiter. Modern day ruler, Neptune. Venus exalted, born out of the sea. Dreamy, the old soul of the zodiac. Also, like, baptism, a spiritual baptism, and the womb, because you get birthed out again here. This is the great surrender into nirvana. Also, solitude, depression, manic depressiveness, escapism, extraordinaire, melancholia. Beautiful, creative. When I think of a Pisces, I think of a water painting. Jupiter ruled it. So Jupiter had the keys of the kingdom from Pisces. As we're moving, the great year moves this way. So does when we do a birth chart. Clocks within clocks, flipped upside down, inside, inverted, outverted. When you master your chart, then you're going to want to go through it backwards. And this is everything. The next video will go through the actual houses. So if each of these, this would be that first house, the second house, third house, but we flip it around. So we first house, second house, third house, fourth house. And then so that puts Capricorn, 10th house, say 10, on the top of the hill. Because we come in with light into darkness, and they flip around. You need tension. You need two to have sex. So that's how the duality needs to happen, the black and white checkerboard. And we're learning the tools to climb up and out so that we keep ascending and descending. Thank you so much. I love you.